welcome back. Just going to continue with a quick read through the Bible stream for today. We're going to be jumping into 2 Samuel chapter 21. Now there was a famine in the days of David for 3 years, year after year. And David sought the presence of the Lord. And the Lord said, "It is for Saul and his bloody house, because he put the Gibeonites to death." So the king called the Gibeonites and spoke to them. Now the Gibeonites were not the sons of Israel, but of the remnant of the Amorites, and the sons of Israel made a covenant with them. But Saul had sought to kill them in his zeal for the sons of Israel and Judah. Thus David said to the Gibeonites, "What should I do for you, and how can I make atonement for you, that you may bless the inheritance of the Lord?" Then the Gibeonites said to him, "We have no concern of silver or gold with Saul or his house, nor is it for us to put any man to death in Israel." And he said, "I will do for you whatever you say." So they said to the king, "The man who consumed us and who planned to exterminate us from remaining within any border of Israel, let 7 men from his sons be given to us, and we will hang them before the Lord in Gibeah of Saul, the chosen of the Lord." And the king said, "I will give them." But the king spared Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, because of the oath of the Lord which was between them, between David and Saul's son Jonathan. So the king took the 2 sons of Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, Armoni and Mephibosheth, whom she had borne to Saul, and the 5 sons of Merab, the daughter of Saul, whom she had borne to Adriel, the son of Barzillai, the Maholathite. Then he gave them into the hands of the Gibeonites, and they hanged them in the mountain before the Lord, so that the 7 of them fell together. And they were put to death in the first days of the harvest at the beginning of barley harvest. And Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, took sackcloth and spread it for herself on a rock from the beginning of the harvest until it rained on them from the sky, and she allowed neither birds of the sky to rest on them by day, nor the beasts of the field by night. When it was told David what Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, the concubine of Saul, had done, then David went and took the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan his son from the men of Jabesh Gilead, who had stolen them from the open square of Beth-shan, where the Philistines had hanged them on the day the Philistines struck down Saul in Gilboa. He brought up the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan his son from there, and they gathered the bones of Saul, the bones of those who had been hanged. They buried the bones of Saul and Jonathan his son in the country of Benjamin, in Zelah, in the grave of Kish his father. Thus they did all that the king commanded, and after that God was moved by prayer for the land. Now when the Philistines were at war with Israel, David went down and his servants with him, and they fought against the Philistines. David became weary. Then Ishbi-Benob, who was among the descendants of the giant, the weight of whose spear was 300 shekels of bronze in weight, was girded with a new sword, and he intended to kill David. But Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, helped him, and struck the Philistine and killed him. Then the men of David swore to him, saying, "You shall not go out with us again to battle, so that you do not extinguish the lamp of Israel." Now it came about after this that there was war again with the Philistines at Gob. Then Sibbecai the Hushathite struck down Saph, who was among the descendants of the giant. There was war with the Philistines again at Gob, and Elhanan, the son of Oregem, the Bethlehemite, killed Goliath the Gittite, the shaft of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. There was war at Gath again, where there was a man of great stature, who had 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot, 24 in number, and he also had been born to the giant. When he defied Israel, Jonathan, the son of Shimei, David's brother, struck him down. These 4 were born to the giant in Gath, and they fell by the hand of David and by the hand of his servants. Second Samuel chapter 22. And David spoke the words of this song to the Lord in the day that the Lord delivered him from the hand of all his enemies and from the hand of Saul. He said, The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my God and my rock, my rock in whom I take refuge, my shield and the horn of my salvation, the stronghold and my refuge, my Savior. You save me from violence. I call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. And I am saved from my enemies. For the waves of death encompass me, the torrents of destruction overwhelm me. The cords of Sheol surround me, the snares of death confront me. In my distress I called upon the Lord. Yes, I cried to my God. And from his temple he heard my voice, and my cry for help came into his ears. Then the earth shook and quaked. The foundations of heaven were trembling and were shaken, because he was angry. Smoke went up out of his nostrils, fire from his mouth devoured. Coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also and came down, with thick darkness under his feet. And he rode on a cherub and flew, and he appeared on the wings of the wind. And he made darkness canopies around him, a mass of waters, thick clouds of the sky. From the brightness before him, coals of fire were kindled. The Lord thundered from heaven, and the Most High uttered his voice. And he sent out arrows and scattered them, lightning and routed them. Then the channels of the sea appeared. The foundations of the world were laid bare by the rebuke of the Lord. At the blast of the breath of his nostrils, he sent from on high. He took me, he drew me out of many waters. He delivered me from my strong enemy, from those who hated me, for they were too strong for me. They comforted me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my support. He also brought me forth into a broad place. He rescued me, because he delighted in me. The Lord has rewarded me according to his righteousness. The Lord has rewarded me according to my righteousness. According to the cleanness of my hands he has recompensed me. For I have kept the ways of the Lord, and have not acted wickedly against my God. For all his ordinances were before me, and as for his statutes I did not depart from them. I was also blameless toward him, and I kept myself from my iniquity. Therefore the Lord has recompensed me according to my righteousness, according to my cleanness before his eyes. With the kind you show yourself kind, with the blameless you show yourself blameless. With the pure you show yourself pure, and with the perverted you show yourself astute. And you save an afflicted people, but your eyes are on the haughty whom you abase. For you are my lamp, O Lord, and the Lord illumines my darkness. For by you I can run upon a troop. By my God I can leap over a wall. As for God, his way is blameless. The word of the Lord is tested. He is a shield to all who take refuge in him. For who is God besides the Lord? And who is a rock besides our God? God is my strong fortress, and he sets the blameless in his way. He makes my feet like hinds' feet, and he sets me on my high places. He trains my hands for battle, so that my arms can bend a bow of bronze. You have also given me the shield of your salvation, and your help makes me great. You enlarge my steps under me, and my feet have not slipped. I pursued my enemies and destroyed them, and I did not turn back until they were consumed. And I have devoured them and shattered them, so that they did not rise. And they fell under my feet. For you have girded me with strength for battle. You have subdued me under those who rose up against me. You have also made my enemies turn their backs to me, and I destroyed those who hated me. They looked, but there was none to save, even to the Lord, but he did not answer them. Then I pulverized them to the dust of the earth. I crushed and stamped them as the mire of the streets. You have also delivered me from the contentions of my people. You have kept me as head of the nations. A people whom I have not known serve me. Foreigners pretend obedience to me. As soon as they hear, they obey me. Foreigners lose heart and come trembling out of their fortresses. The Lord lives, and blessed be my rock, and exalted be God, the rock of my salvation, the God who executes vengeance for me, and brings down peoples under me, who also brings me out from my enemies. You even lift me above those who rise up against me. You rescue me from the violent man. Therefore I will give thanks to you, O Lord, among the nations, and I will sing praises to your name. He is a tower of deliverance to his king, and shows loving kindness to his anointed, to David and to his descendants, forever. Second Samuel, chapter 23. Now these are the last words of David. David, the son of Jesse, declares, the man who was raised on high, declares, the anointed of God, of the God of Jacob, and the sweet psalmist of Israel. The Spirit of the Lord spoke by me, and his word was on my tongue. The God of Israel said, the rock of Israel spoke to me, he who rules over men righteously, he or who rules in the fear of God, is as the light of the morning when the sun rises, a morning without clouds, when the tender grass springs out of the earth, through sunshine after rain. Truly, is not my house so with God? For he has made an everlasting covenant with me, ordered in all things and secure. Will he not indeed make it grow? But the worthless, every one of them, will be thrust away like thorns, because they cannot be taken in hand. But the man who touches them must be armed with iron and the shaft of a spear, and they will be completely burned with fire in their place. Verse 8. These are the names of the mighty men whom David had: Josheb, Basabeth, Techmonite, chief of the captains. He was called Adino the Eznite, because of 800 slain by him at one time. And after him was Eleazar, the son of Dodo, an Ahohite, one of the three mighty men with David, when they defiled the Philistines, who were gathered there to battle, and the men of Israel had withdrawn. He arose and struck the Philistines until his hand was weary and clung to the sword. And the Lord brought about a great victory that day, and the people returned after him, only to strip the slain. Now after him was Shammah, the son of Agi, a Haharite, and the Philistines were gathered into a troop, where there was a plot of ground full of lentils, and the people fled from the Philistines. But he took his stand in the midst of the plot, defended it, and struck the Philistines, and the Lord brought about a great victory. Then 3 of the 30 chief men went down and came to David in the harvest time to the Cave of Adullum, while the troop of the Philistines was camping in the valley of Rephaim. David was then in the stronghold, while the garrison of the Philistines was then in Bethlehem. David had a craving and said, "Oh, that someone would give me water to drink from the well of Bethlehem, which is by the gate." So the 3 mighty men broke through the camp of the Philistines and drew water from the well of Bethlehem, which was by the gate, and took it and brought it to David. Nevertheless, he would not drink it, but poured it out to the Lord. And he said, Far be it from me, O Lord, that I should do this. Shall I drink the blood of the men who went in jeopardy of their lives? Therefore he would not drink it. These things the three mighty men did. Abishai, the brother of Zeruiah, the son of Zeruiah, or the brother of Joab, the son of Zeruiah, was chief of the 30. He swung his spear against 300 and killed them, and had a name as well as the 3. He was most honored of the 30, therefore he became their commander. However, he did not attain to the 3. Then Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, the son of a valiant man of Kabzeel, who had done mighty deeds, killed the 2 sons of Adriel of Moab. He also went down and killed a lion in the middle of a pit on a snowy day. He killed an Egyptian, an impressive man. Now the Egyptian had a spear in his hand, but he went down to him with a club and snatched the spear from the Egyptian's hand and killed him with his own spear. These things Benaiah the son of Jehoiada did, and had a name as well as the 3 mighty men. He was honored among the 30, but he did not attain to the 3. And David appointed him over his guard. Asahel, the brother of Joab, was among the 30. Elhanan, the son of Dodo of Bethlehem, Shammah the Harodite, Elika the Harodite, Helez the Palite, Ira the son of Ikkesh, the Tekoite, Abiezer the Anathothite, Manubi the Hushite, Zalmon the Ahohite, Merari the Netophathite, Heleb the son of Baanah the Netophathite, Ittai the son of Ribai of Gibeah of the sons of Benjamin, Benaiah the Pirathonite, Hiddai of the brooks of Gaash, Abi Albon the Arbathite, Asmaveth the Barhumite, Eliba the Shalobonite, the sons of Jashan, Jonathan, Shammah the Hararite, Ahiam the son of Sharar the Ararite, Eliphet the son of Ahazbai, the son of the Maacathite, Eliam the son of Ahithophel the Gileadonite, Hezro the Carmelite, Parai the Arbite, Igal the son of Nathan, that's an easy one, of Zobah, Bani the Gadite, Zelek the Ammonite, Nahari the Beerothite, armor-bearers of Joab, the son of Zeruiah, Ira the Irathite, Gareb the Ithrite, Uriah the Hittite, 37 in all. Hey Mike, good to hear from you. As to the first one, man, I don't know. I think Spider-Man's a bit timeless. I think there's value, at least in kind of the older Spider-Man. When I read it growing up, there's the phrase, right, with great power comes great responsibility, and that was really impactful for me for a good portion of life. And I think still holds true till today, and it's not a bad thing to be reminded of. Plus, I think it's a cool character. I don't mind being a big kid. As to Ezekiel, I don't remember what that is. My guess is it's probably a tricky passage to interpret or something like that, but I can take a quick look. Ezekiel 23. (18 through 21). Ha! Yes. This passage. Yeah. So, not sure what you're trying to pull at here. But this is God describing as best he can, or that's a bad way of saying it, but God describing what Israel has done in terms of the way they turned away from God and sought to pursue other idols and put things above him. And this is it's made a really strong way of presenting it on purpose to kind of really force you to have that image in mind of how big of a deal it is and how disgusting it was for them to do that, and what that would look like in as best a way physically as could be described in the spiritual reality. I hope that's not sarcastic. It's hard to hear tone. Appreciate you thinking that I interpret that well, but that would be my take on it. Though I think there's probably more nuance than that, and you'd want to probably get the full section of scripture and context and really look at it and pull it together and have more people say things about it than just me or just one person. Then your third comment there, Mike. So do you actually know what you're reading, or are you just trying to sound like a prophet? It's a good question. I think I would like to say that God, through His Spirit, does give us the ability to rightly interpret the word of truth. At the same time, I would be really hesitant to convey myself as a prophet. I see it more, I'm not trying to read anything into the text, more just trying to put my heart into it as I read, both for my own sake, so it sticks in my head and my heart, and I remember it, and then also to kind of, sometimes we get kind of this regimented, we have to just read it monotone, and this is some list of rules that we have to live by. I see it more as kind of a living, breathing document that's closer to a love letter than a set of legalistic rules. So just trying to read it like that with some heart behind it. And I'm no narrator, that's for sure, but not trying to be a prophet or put anything into the text that's not just there to be read. Appreciate your feedback. I'll try to take breaks between chapters. It's hard to take breaks in the middle because I'm kind of taking the challenge of reading through. I'd like to read through the entire Bible on stream, and then also have that just kind of as a record on YouTube. So, because there's been times in the past where people have asked me, like, Josh, have you read through the whole Bible? It's like, well, yes, but I have no way to prove that. So I thought it'd be fun to actually just read through the Bible on video over the course of a year. And then that way people say, have you read the whole Bible? And I say, yes. And you could actually verify that. So if I ever make a claim from somewhere in the scripture, people know, hey, I've actually read it. So that's kind of my heart. Not trying to do anything special or put myself above anybody on Twitch or on the internet and like, I'm reading the Bible on stream. But it was the best way I could think to get it out there and get it recorded. And it's been kind of fun interacting with a bunch of different people about both the text and about other things too. There's my extroverted rambling moment for you. Feel free to ask other questions if you have them or interact on stream. Fine by me. I'm pretty much out of time for tonight, so I'll probably end there and dive back in to 2 Samuel 24 later today, Lord willing. Well, so it's 11:59, so it'll be later tomorrow, Lord willing. Here's one fun one for you to end stream I like to have at midnight. It's coming out of the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 62. Oh, too far. This is one that I like to say at midnight just for fun. And the verse literally just says, "At midnight I shall rise and give thanks to you because of your righteous ordinances." It's kind of fun because it's actually midnight. And I can do that. Thank the Lord for his righteous ordinances. So with that, go ahead and sign off. Adios. God bless.